Is with us. And finally, Janke, we have a clearer indication of the date.
Yes, that's right, Jeremy. We're really entering an exciting time in South Africa ahead of the 2019 general elections next year. We did hear from the Independent Electoral Commission that the earliest date that elections can take place is on the 7th of May, and then the final registration weekend will then also be on the 26th and 27th of January. This is when voters can use their time over that weekend to make sure to either, if they haven't registered, to register, and if they have already registered, to go and to make sure that the details are correct, especially the crucial details of the addresses. Now, I am joined by the IEC spokesperson, Kate Bapela, who will just give me some indication about the readiness of the IEC ahead of those elections. Kate, some progress has been made around the addresses. We did see that there was quite a number of addresses outstanding of the voters, but it seems like significant progress has been made around that.
Indeed, a lot of progress has been made, and this afternoon when the chairperson of the Electoral Commission as well as the Chief Electoral Officer were briefing the media, what was clear is that as a country, from where we come from, where we do not have a lot of addresses on the voters' roll, and to where we are today, is quite a massive improvement, but also a lot of work has been done by the Electoral Commission, also supported by many stakeholders across the country. And the fact that when we held various initiatives around ensuring that South Africans come to register to vote, a lot of South Africans did hit the call. We had, as you may be aware, that we also have a portal where any registered voter can go online using their ID number as an identifier to ensure that their addresses are updated. I did that personally. So therefore, and we have opened voting stations in March 2018 to ensure that even those who don't have access to internet can just walk in our voting stations and ensure that they check their addresses. So from where we are, we're feeling a little bit comfortable, but then the big hurdle is to ensuring that each and every voter on the voters' roll has got a physical address or a place of residence.
Now, we did see that they announced that about 82% of the voters on the voters' roll have addresses, but we do also know that you are awaiting that crucial constitutional court ruling on the suspension of the invalidity of the voters' roll. How will that impact the elections or the registration weekend going forward, and what have you been doing in the meantime awaiting that constitutional court ruling?
I think we've proved beyond reasonable doubt as an electoral commission that we are very sincere in our efforts to ensure that every voter on the voters' roll has got an address. And when we approached the Constitutional Court some 2-3 months ago, what was clear was that a lot of work has been done. And where we are currently, we are saying that as we go to the final voter registration weekend on the 26th and 27th of January 2019, we are pulling all stops to ensure that every voter in this country that is on the voters' roll, as we collect new voters, we want to ensure that the ones that are already on the voters' roll and do not have addresses, we pay particular attention to make sure that as they walk in our voting stations, as we collect addresses, we want to make a massive dent on that number of outstanding addresses on the voters' roll. So we are hopeful that when everything has been said and done and all our gains have been gathered together, we are able to say how we proceed forward legally based on the Constitutional Court ruling. So we're hopeful that whatever that we do, as we go back to the courts or we go back and pray for mercy. You know, legal people always say we pray for mercy. We'll go back and say this is how far we've gone. This is the work after everything has been said and done. We've gone on public campaigns. We've done voter registration weekends. We've backed. I mean, in this organization, we even go to an extent of begging people to give us addresses, and we're continuing to do that, by the way. And also the other important thing when it relates to addresses, we're still looking for those addresses. The portal is still up and running. Our offices are available at a local level. If you feel that you are not sure if you have provided us with the correct address or you have even moved, go to your local IEC office, which are available in every municipality. Go and make sure that you walk into that office and request our officials to update your addresses. In that way, as many South Africans as possible will assist us to walk the last crunch, which is very important.
Now, something that's really crucial is the fact of the votes of young people and how many are actually registered to vote. They did mention, the IEC, that this final registration weekend falls before the opening of universities, which they said might be problematic, but they have plans in place to ensure that the number of young people on the roll increases.
Yes, we are very tense about the young people on our voters' roll. Because at the moment the level is a little bit low, but what we will do as soon as they come back from, especially at university students, as soon as they come back from the holidays, we'll make sure that in every university in this country we'll put up voter registration points and ensure that we call out as many young people as possible to come and register to vote. And we'll do, or as I'm speaking to you, we have already mounted a massive campaign on social media to make sure that our young people in this country are aware of the date. As soon as they walk into the universities, they settle in their tertiary institutions, we then register them to vote. But equally, so it's a responsibility that we'll share with the many stakeholders that form part of our network during elections. So that definitely we do commit to that, and we'll make sure that we mount massive campaigns to bring young people.
Okay, thank you very much. That was the IEC's Kate Papela. So as you hear, the IEC is making progress and seems confident they will be ready for the 2019 elections. Back to Joburg.
All right.